coming up on BCN Today. It's potatoes for everyone as the new $430 million Cavendish Farms makes its grand opening in Lethbridge. Plus, our province's agriculture and tourism ministers were in the Windy City discussing new opportunities for southwestern Alberta. And stiffer regulations for illegally trespassing private property following the protests of animal activists on farms.
Your Canada. Your southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on this Friday. It's the size of 7 football fields. It costs around $430 million and will employ around 400 people. It was the official grand opening of the Cavendish Farms plant in Lethbridge. Ainsley O'Reilly was there along with Premier Jason Kenney and other dignitaries.
Here at Cavendish Farms, it's been an exciting morning and afternoon getting to introduce the brand new facility. I'm lucky. I got to try the best French fries I ever have in my entire life. And lucky for me, this facility is producing 735 million tons of potatoes. That's an increase of 12,000 acres. Alberta's Premier Jason Kenney came for an appearance and was not able to speak to the media, but he had some exciting words to say.
This is a great day for Alberta, a great day for Lethbridge, and a great day for agriculture. This is great news, a wonderful vote of confidence in the future of Alberta's economy.
About 3 years ago, planning for a new Cavendish Farms facility began, and now the new plant will triple the company's production.
Lethbridge, operating at full capacity, which I can assure you is just around the corner, will ship an average of almost 1,000 trailers per week. Yes, 1,000.
The plant will employ 62 new staff members and ship out to various parts of the globe. Mayor Chris Spearman boasted about the city's economy.
Well, I dreamed about this, having worked in the industrial sector for 33 years in the city, having seen it grow from our first investment from the distillery back in the 1970s. You can see how investment in agriculture, investment in industrial development pays off for everybody.
Cavendish is now the largest private sector investment in the history of Lethbridge.
Together, we'll produce the best French fries in the world, right here from Lethbridge. What do you say?
For Bridge City News, I'm Ainsley O'Reilly.
Thank you, Ainsley. Jason Kenney was also in Granham Thursday saying his government will be introducing new legislation to punish illegal protesters who invade farms. In a press release, the UCP says fines will be up to $10,000 for a first offense and up to $25,000 for subsequent offenses. In addition, the government is funding 50 new Crown prosecutors to be tougher on criminal behavior. This is all in response to dozens of protesters who illegally stormed a southern Alberta Hutterite turkey farm in September, demanding more transparency. The group alleges that the birds are being treated inhumanely. The group's spokesperson, Trevor Miller, says around 4,000 birds are kept in barns for 14 weeks with extreme crowding, poor air quality, and 14 weeks of buildup of urine, feces, blood, and body parts of deceased animals. Some are too injured to walk, while others stumble, appearing frightened and disoriented. He said in a press release that turkeys can live up to 10 years in the wild, but here they won't see 6 months. The group claims that they've witnessed some unprofitable birds being thrown into stoves and burned alive. Miller says that birds farmed for food see little protection in Canada and that the animal advocate would like to see that changed. The impact of agricultural programs in our province was discussed this week when Agriculture Minister Devin Dreeshen and the Minister of Economic Development Tanya Furr visited Exhibition Park. They also discussed what kind of economic development and tourism opportunities there are for our region.
We're excited to be in Lethbridge today to meet with a variety of businesses that are here. My biggest goal today is to listen to what the variety of businesses and communities and groups have to say. In my role as Minister of Economic Development, Trade and Tourism, it's a huge portfolio, and there's so much that we want to hear from and gather in terms of looking at our economic development, trade and tourism policies going forward. Right now we're excited. We're working on a new investment strategy for the province, and one of the big things we want to do is make sure we're hearing from local businesses and communities.
Different types of sectors here across southern Alberta that are here representing their industries, and it's just great to see that, you know, all the different jobs that are created by these important sectors and the need and the want to partner with the provincial government.
Dreeshen is the son of federal Conservative MP Earl Dreeshen and is a fifth-generation owner of the family's farm near Pine Lake, Alberta. The province has announced a review of the Tobacco Act to establish evidence-based regulations of vaping products. Health Minister Tyler Shandro says he's concerned about the rise of vaping, especially among young people. There's also been recent reports of severe lung disease associated with vaping products. Shandro says the review will begin on November 1st and should be completed by the end of this year. With the federal election just over 2 weeks away, Premier Jason Kenney recently gave us his thoughts as to who he feels should become the next Prime Minister of Canada.
I think it's becoming more clear by the day that we need a new government and a new Prime Minister. We need a Prime Minister of whom we can be proud. A Prime Minister who understands the life of ordinary Canadians, like Andrew Scheer, who grew up in a family where they didn't own a car, in a modest townhouse, who is a person of profound respect, who will never embarrass this country, either here or abroad.
Use of multiple planes and multiple passports could dominate the federal campaign trail today. Liberal leader Justin Trudeau's first stop is Quebec City. The Conservatives claim Trudeau is a climate hypocrite for having 2 campaign jets, while the Liberals are sure to point out that Conservative Andrew Scheer holds Canadian and American citizenship. Scheer could face questions during campaign stops in Toronto about whether he's a hypocrite for going after rival politicians for the same thing in the past. Meanwhile, Scheer also is facing questions about his stance on abortion. Scheer says while he is personally pro-life, his party wouldn't reopen the abortion debate if elected. Scheer made his views on abortion known a day after other leaders pushed him to clarify his stance on the issue at a French language debate.
My personal position has always been open and consistent. I am personally pro-life, but I've also made the commitment that as leader of this party, it is my responsibility to ensure that we do not reopen this debate, that we focus on issues that unite our party and unite Canadians, and that's exactly what I'll do, and that's why I will vote against measures that attempt to reopen this debate. All our policies are centered around treating all Canadians equally and supporting the rights of women. We will continue to ensure that that women are treated fairly and equally in this country, and that their rights are always protected.
Green Party leader Elizabeth May says she's losing patience with Jagmeet Singh and accused the NDP leader of making false claims about her party.
And I think twisting what someone has said to mislead voters is not honorable. Of course, there's also his claim that I'm wobbly on abortion, that the Green Party isn't clear. He threw in national unity for good measure. It's disappointing, honestly.
Singh, who is campaigning today in Saskatoon, talked about how comments about race can hurt. This comes a day after a man approached him in Montreal and suggested he cut off his turban to seem more Canadian.
That's the thing with when people say mean things, that they don't always intend for it to be mean, but it's hurtful. And a lot of Canadians face that all the time. Casual comments that demean people because of their gender, their sexuality, the color of their skin, their spiritual beliefs. That happens all too often. And I want to send a clear message to Canadians who've been told to change who they are just to fit in or to get ahead. I want people to be who they are, to believe in yourself, to love yourself, and to celebrate who you are, because everyone should belong, and I want to build a world where everyone belongs.
When it comes to the upcoming federal election, what are the issues that matter most to you and your family? One area where Lethbridge candidates are trying to connect with is students. SACPA hosted an all-candidates forum at the U of L Wednesday evening. Lethbridge Conservative candidate Rachel Harder spoke about what young Conservatives are most passionate about.
The young Conservatives are focused on issues around freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of belief, freedom of conscience, freedom to pursue opportunity, freedom to succeed or fail based on their own choice and based on their own investment of time and talent and energy. Freedom is, it's probably the number one thing that I hear from young people who are already Conservative. Students feel overwhelmed when they come out the other side and they have this debt load, and so I think certainly we have to look at things like, debt forgiveness based on, GPA or some other sort of incentive, I guess, to do well, to invest your time, to invest your talent. There's other incentives such as, if you're willing to go and work up north, or if you're willing to enter into certain fields where Canada needs more people. So I think we need to look at more opportunities like that, where we would be able to help students once they're on that other side and they're having to repay those debts. How can we help? How can we help?
According to Elections Canada, around 57% of Canadians aged 18 to 24 casted votes in the last federal election. There are more all-candidate forums coming up in Lethbridge. Bridge City News will be at the one Monday, October 7th from 7 till 9 p.m. at the Yates Theatre. The Coaldale Chamber is hosting a forum October 8th at 7 p.m. at the Community Centre. BCN will also be at the forum October 10th at 6:30 p.m. at the Lethbridge Public Library, and October 11th is the Volunteer Lethbridge Forum, focusing on nonprofit agencies. That one will take place at 9 a.m. at the James Building on 5th Street South. 7 people were killed after a World War II-era plane with 13 people on board crashed and burned at the Hartford Airport. Officials say the plane encountered mechanical problems shortly after takeoff.
There were 10 passengers on that plane and 3 crew members. There are 6 survivors in various conditions of medical condition, ranging from minor injuries to a critical. We will confirm that there are 7 deaths. And all but 3 of those families have been notified.
At about 9:50, the crew contacted the tower and reported an issue with the airplane. We know that the crew circled back to runway 6 and attempted to land on runway 6. They impacted the instrument landing system stanchions. The plane veered to the right, crossed over a grassy area, crossed over the taxiway, and impacted a de-icing facility.
Very sad. 2 years after a shooter rained gunfire on country music fans from a high-rise Las Vegas hotel, MGM Resorts International reached a settlement that could pay up to $800 million to families of the 58 people who died and hundreds of others who were injured.
Life has been really hard the last couple of years. I have 2 kids. To think maybe I know that I could go places and it's safer now, to kind of just know that something good can come from something that was so horrible is, I guess, the only thing I could ask for out of this.
Well, it looks like the mercury will be going up just in time for the weekend. Full weather details are coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Here's a look at your weather highlights. For Lethbridge today and tomorrow, lots of sunshine in the forecast. Look at that. Going up to 8 degrees today and the low of 2 overnight. Tomorrow, looks like we are into the double digits there with a high of 12 degrees, going down to 1 overnight. For the rest of the weekend there, Sunday, lots of sunshine, 16 degrees. Monday, still having the sun out there, 16 degrees as well. That'll be awesome. But look what's going to happen on Tuesday, guys. A chance of flurries there, down to 1 degree. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we got a chance of the sun coming out again a little bit, and sunny skies again on Thursday, with highs of 2 on Wednesday and 8 on Thursday. The almanac says that the average high this time of year should be around 17 degrees. The average low is 2 degrees. The highest temperature on this day was in 1943. It was 32 degrees. And the lowest temperature was minus 11 in 2000. The sun rose this morning at 7:35 a.m. and it's going to go to bed tonight at 7:05 p.m. Days getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Looking to the national forecast over on the west coast, Victoria, rainy skies over there, 14 degrees, lots of rain also in Vancouver with a high of 13. Chance of showers up in Edmonton, 12 degrees. Sunshine though in Calgary with a high of 12 degrees. Over on the prairies, Saskatoon, we got a chance of cloudy coverage there, 13-degree high. Mix of sun and cloud also in Regina with a high of 10 degrees. Sun and cloud in the forecast for Winnipeg, also 10 degrees there. Over in the east, our friends over in Toronto are going to be seeing chances of showers, a high of 13 degrees. Also some showers in Ottawa with high of 10 degrees, high of 11 degrees up in Montreal with also showers in the forecast over there. Over in the Maritimes, Fredericton, look what's happening over here. We got showers happening there as well. 12 degrees. Showers in Halifax, high of 11 degrees. And a chance of precipitation also in Charlottetown with a high of 9. But St. John's, you're going to have some sunshine there with a high of 9 degrees. That's your forecast. Here's a look at what's happening in your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. The City of Lethbridge's residential fall leaf collection program is underway from now to November 15th. Residents can call 311 Monday to Friday between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. to arrange for pickup. Leaves must be put in paper yard waste bags and placed in the area where garbage is normally collected. Paper yard waste bags are available for purchase at retail stores throughout Lethbridge. For more information about the residential fall leaf collection program, visit lethbridge.ca or call 311. Come out and support a worthy cause. The Blue Rain Ranch Animal Assisted Therapy Foundation Benefit Dinner and Auction is taking place on Saturday, October 19th at the Community Hall in Fort Macleod, with cocktails being served at 5:30 p.m. and dinner beginning at 6. Come dressed in your best Western wear and enjoy live music by Duo Grand Fiddle and Guitar. All proceeds to support access for low-income trauma and abuse victims to counseling and animal-assisted therapy. For tickets, call 403-894-9160. And for event details, visit bridgesofhope.com. Men, young and old alike, are invited to come join the Lethbridge Christian Men's Choir. Practices are held every Thursday from 7:30 to 9 p.m. at Trinity Reformed Church. The choir practices are in preparation for Christmas and spring concerts, as well as occasional performances at the hospital and seniors' homes. For more information, call 403-328-7985. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.
Well, if you want to have a better quality sleep, then check out today's daily life hack. Take note of your body's sleeping position in the morning. This is probably your most comfortable sleeping position. Knowing this can help you get to sleep quicker. And that's your daily life hack. In the U.S., recent arrests of men who allegedly tried to have sex with children have prompted police in North America to issue warnings of apps that can be used by potential predators. Video journalist Naveen Day has compiled a list of apps to watch out for on your kids' phones.
It is often hard to tell what your kids or grandkids are up to when they're staring at their phones or tablets. Apps like WhatsApp and Snapchat are widely known and accepted by parents, despite that they can share your kids' live location with other users, people they may not even know. In fact, Snapchat has a new feature called Snap Map, which keeps your child's contacts up to date on his or her location. Other apps you may not know include Meet Me, an app where teens can easily be in contact with users much older than them, with an emphasis on dating. Then there's Scout, which is a flirting app that is used to meet and chat with new people. Teens and adults are in different groups, but ages are not verified. Badoo and Bumble are dating apps for adults, but teens can still find ways to join. Grindr is geared towards the LGBTQ2 community. It allows users to share photos and meet up based on the phone's GPS location. Holla is an app that allows you to do live video chat with people nearby or around the world. Whisper is a social confessional where kids can remain anonymous but still share their feelings, and it can reveal your child's location or a meetup. And lastly, a very sinister app to be watchful for is Secret Calculator, a calculator app with a hidden area in which kids can hide explicit photos, videos, and even browser history. Back to you.
Thank you, Naveen. Some very useful information there. When life was hit at its hardest in Syria, Open Doors was able to provide essential support to more than 2,800 Syrian families. Pastor Abdallah stayed with them, and now that people are returning and rebuilding their lives, Abdallah still helps. His church is called Center of Hope.
The civilians are stuck in a very small area that doesn't exceed 2 square kilometers, with no safe zone, no life. Every bomb is a new massacre. Save Aleppo, save humanity.
طلعوا المجموعات المسلحة من حلب والناس في وضع أفضل من الماضي، لأني العائلات اليوم في حيرة، محتارين من جهة المستقبل، ما في أعمال، بيوتهم مدمرة، متضررة، أشياء كثيرة موجودة في واقع الناس، صعوبات إنه يبقوا ولا يسافروا. مشان هيك محتاجين نسند الناس لحتى يقدروا يبقوا، محتاجين نسند المسيحيين لحتى يقدروا يبقوا على هيدي الأرض اللي هي أرضهم. أول شيء الشعور هو ناجم من دعم إلهي لحتى اللي سندنا فيه طول الحرب. يعني عندي شعور هو اللي بيعطيني هذا الدافع بالكنيسة لنكمل. ونحن ككنيسة مكملين لنشوف شو بنقدر نمشي مع الناس لنساعدهم. البداية كانت صغيرة كتير ويمكن ما بتجاوز 100 عائلة. مع الفرص اللي صارت لنا درسل لحدود 2000 عائلة كل شهر كنا نقدر نساعدهم، والأمور الأساسية اللي كنا بنساعد فيها هي أمور غذائية.
That report was from Global News Alliance. Coming up in the second half of our show, a Campus Freedom Index was recently released, which listed the top universities and colleges when it came to freedom of speech. According to John Carpe, president of the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, the U of L received a top grade.
The University of Lethbridge, on their policies, had some of the criteria I mentioned, where they have a clear, definitive statement about why free speech is important, why they should protect it. And to earn an A on the practices side of the equation, you would need to actively defend free speech when it's threatened.
See which other colleges and universities made the grade with Mr. Carpe coming up on the second half of our show. That's next.